Hello everyone, this is Mike from Single Game DFS and fantasyfifteensports.com. I wanted to show you today how to mass edit entries in your DraftKings lineups. We did it the other day by manually entering each lineup. This is a much faster and easier way to enter multiple lineups after you've got them figured out with your optimizer tool. We're going to use our premium projections and manually paste them into the optimizer tool. If you have the premium projections subscription, these will auto-populate, but we'll just paste ours in and use them for this slate today. We're using the Yankees and Mets game. We'll let it run here, and while it's running, we'll take a look over at DraftKings and show you some of the steps that you can take to get ready to import these new lineups. By the way, I'm making this video on a Mac, so the Excel looks a little different on a Mac than it might look on your Windows machine. So here's our DraftKings lineup setup. We have 16 lineups. They're over two different slates. One has 14 entered and one has 2 entered. So the spreadsheet tool is running in the background. We'll have those lineups in a second. We're not going to tweak them at all. We're just going to use the top performing optimized numbers. We're not going to take and use captains with any certain members from the same team, or pitchers, or stacking with the same team. We're just going to use the top scores as generated by the spreadsheet tool. So we're going to copy the lineups we want to use from the spreadsheet optimizer tool. And then we go back into DraftKings, and DraftKings gives you a nice little tool where you can download a template, go to your lineups tab, and then edit entries, and then you can download this template that has your lineups, your dummy lineups in it, and it'll give you a nice little CSV sheet you can work on. So this is what the CSV looks like, and all the people in this, all the players on this CSV are the same because we only have one team entered 16 times, 14 in one slate and 2 in the other. You can see the two different slates, the two different lineups are at the bottom. So we'll copy, again, we'll do the first, we'll do the 14, copy 14 and paste them over. And we always want to paste values so we don't do anything messing up formulas or putting in any hinky text or anything. Just paste the values from your spreadsheet optimizer. Then we're going to take those top 2 rows and duplicate them because those are the top 2 lineups. Those are the ones we want in the slate with 2 lineups. So we'll paste those down on the second slate, the bottom 2 rows. And it looks like I still had all 14 selected. So I'm going to go back and copy just the first 2. The reason we want the first 2 is we could do 16 unique lineups, but I want the top 2 lineups in this second slate. And again, we paste values. So we'll have 2 slates with similar players on 2 of the lineups. So when you're done with that, you just save the file and try to remember the name of it because it's going to be the one that you pick from your downloads, usually your downloads folder, and upload it back into DraftKings, and it's successfully copied and uploaded. Then I like to take a look at the lineups just to make sure they are what I wanted. So here's the summary of our lineups in DraftKings. We can see the first 2 lineups are duplicated, meaning they're in 2 different contests. And then we have 14 unique lineups for the second contest. We want to make sure all of our players are in green, so they're in the starting batting order. So everything's looking pretty good here. We kind of knew that this was all good, but it's good to double check and take a look just to make sure. We can show you how to edit the FanDuel mass entries the same way in another video, and we'll do that in a separate video. But this is really helpful, especially if you're doing 20 or 50 lineups. You don't have to enter them manually. If you remember the other day, we did them manually where we just looked at each one and went in and manually clicked and deleted and entered again, and it just takes a lot of time. Thanks, everyone. Good luck on your slates today.